According to one study, the two species branched off from each other about 5 million years ago. Another source claims that the separation occurred less than 500,000 years ago. Either way, the polar bear can safely be called the novelty of evolution. This is the conclusion that the reproductive compatibility of polar bears and brown bears leads us to. When zoos have succeeded in mating polar bears and grizzly bears, a subspecies of brown bear inhabiting western Canada and Alaska, they have produced an interspecific hybrid called a grizzly or polar grizzly. This hybrid offspring often prove to be prolific themselves. Over the past 10 years there have been several cases of hybrids in the wild as well. For example, in 2006 an American hunter shot a polar bear in the Canadian Arctic, which turned out to be a polar grizzly. In 2010, an Inuit killed a second-generation crossbreed. Brown bears, Ursus arctos, can interbreed with polar bears. This is conclusive proof that friendship between polar bears and brown bears is possible, albeit in an unchildish way. Of course, there are differences, most notably the color of the coat. In addition, the fur of the brown bear has a solid structure, while the polar bear's hair is hollow on the inside. Scientists have suggested that this unusual structure is designed to prevent pigment-producing cells from moving into the hair shaft. There is a beautiful theory. Each strand of hollow polar bear hair works like a fiber optic cable through which warming ultraviolet light directly reaches the bear's pigmented pelt. Polar Bear Family Photo by Stephen Kozlowski. NPL photo caption: Polar bear fur differs from other bears. In the 1990s, however, physicist Daniel Kuhn conducted an experiment that showed otherwise. There is no direct confirmation of this theory, was the conclusion Kuhn came to in a paper published in 1998. If the hollow hair rods of polar bears are not used to store energy from the sun, how do animals survive in the harsh Arctic climate? Fat performs a life-saving function. Lard is such an important part of polar bears' diets that the substantial fat reserves of the bears themselves are not surprising, sometimes more than half the animal's body weight. In 2014, Ellen Lorenzen of the University of California, Berkeley, and her colleagues searched for genetic differences between brown and polar bears. Among the most impressive was metabolism as it relates to fat assimilation. Cholesterol levels in polar bears are literally off the charts.